Hey everybody, I'm Joel from Shiver Webcam, and welcome back to Everything Wrong with TVSins, The Flash, Episode 1, Pilot. Now this is a part 2 to a previous video that I've made, so this video will be best enjoyed with the previewing of part 1. Now that's not a prerequisite, it's not even necessary to understand this video. I mean, you also don't have to eat the chocolate in your advent calendars in order. You can just eat them whenever, it's just a box with chocolate in it. Thank you to JXD for that joke. That was a very funny joke, so I completely stole it. Now, for those of you who are joining us with this as your first video, hello! This is a series where I look at a CinemaSins video, in this case TVSins, and I assess its writing quality. So, without any more preamble, let's just jump into it.
It's a little snug.
Superhero initially wears a terribly embarrassing suit for the first super experience cliche.
I don't remember seeing that in many superhero things. Okay, let's see. Iron Man? No. Thor? No. Arrow? No. Ant-Man? No. Captain America? Well, his first superhero experience was in a shirt and pants, so... no. Superman? No. Suicide Squad? No. Batman? No. This might seem like a joke to you, but I've legit thought for the last 10 minutes wondering about this line, and I really can't think of anything except, like, Spider-Man 1. So I guess you're right. Once is enough to call it a cliche.
My once promising career in bioengineering is over.
Once promising career? What are you, 18? 23? I swear these actors are so young that all this adulting conversation feels like 5-year-olds playing house or doctor or something.
Well, Danielle Panabaker is 35 now, and since this came out about 8.5 years ago, she would have been about 27, so yeah, I would say that's old enough to have a promising career go down the drain after, you know, helping someone accidentally nuke a city.
So this blank expression kind of feels like the way to go.
Danielle Dead Panabaker.
Characterization. Never heard of it.
Man, whenever these new DC shows are pitched, there must be only 2 questions afterwards. Does it have narration, and can we add some flashbacks?
I know that Arrow has a lot of flashbacks, but the Flash has, like, next to none in comparison. And it's a really good, quick way to get his backstory out, rather than having more clunky exposition, which, to be fair, this show has a ton of.
Just because you cut away from it, don't think I'm letting you get away with a classic case of zoom and enhance. You merely adopted the zoom and enhance. I was born in it.
Look, again, technology in this world should not be that hard to believe. With a place like Star Labs having a super collider in the middle of a city, this should be much less of a stretch. Also, that's a really bad Bane reference to a line that was probably easily my favorite thing in that movie.
What happened out there today? You were moving pretty well and then something caused you to lose focus?
How would Wells even know that? Barry has established he doesn't know how to stop, and I'm assuming that's why the water barrels were there in the first place. So why would he think he was distracted when the exact thing they planned for happened?
Probably because he didn't even try to stop himself, or even turn. Also because of Caitlin reading his brain scans. I don't know, doesn't seem that odd to me.
If I didn't know better, I'd say that's Clyde Martin.
Yeah, that's him all right, officer. Though you may want to ask the witness who worked with the sketch artist if they maybe were just describing this exact mugshot. I mean, it's an identical picture down to the strands of hair over his left eye. I haven't seen copying this blatant since Robin Thicke and Pharrell heard a Marvin Gaye song they liked.
Or the sketch artist just drew to the fact that he did have his hair over his left eye. I guess that's just the way he always has his hair.
Metahumans.
That's what we're calling them.
We were going to go with the mutants, but the lawyer stepped in.
Actually, metahuman is the more correct term in all honesty, as the literal definition of meta is denoting a change of position or condition, aka metamorphosis. A mutation occurs when something evolves. For example, the mutants, they are the next step in human evolution, whereas the metahumans in this show have something happen to them to trigger these kinds of abilities.
So the flash burn just affects the jacket? What about the rest of his clothes or his shoes?
It's implied that because his jacket was the most loose part of his clothes, that in itself was what was creating most of the friction, which made the flames that lit his jacket on fire.
So why come to me?
More importantly, how come to me? Or something. My point is, we know Barry took a field trip to Starling City before he was all meta and stuff, but how and why would he have ever known who Arrow actually was? What's that you say? This is all explained in Season 2, Episode 8 of some other TV show that I have to have watched to understand this one? Ah, well, in that case, here's 20 extra sins for the homework.
Okay. First off, Arrow was airing for 2 whole seasons before Flash started, and The Flash was only announced a couple weeks after Season 2, Episode 8 of Arrow premiered. Arrow was going for 2 years before Flash started, so everyone had plenty of time to watch some other TV show before starting this one. So no, it's not homework, and it's not a prerequisite. Also, you knew that it was Season 2, Episode 8 of Arrow that Barry was introduced in, so that means you have some fundamental understanding of learning. Although these videos would disprove that. Here's an extra 20 sins for the being of a bitch. Also, he says extra 20 sins, but then only adds 20 sins. The phrase 20 extra sins implies 1 that he was going to give it anyway, and then 20 more.
I don't think that bolt of lightning struck you, Barry. I think it chose you.
Oh, no, pretty sure it struck him.
Except for the fact that Wells/Thorne made it so that Barry would get struck by lightning, and also the Speed Force is that lightning. Also, spoilers for the Flash Silver Age comics. Skip to this time code if you want to avoid possible spoilers for the Flash. Barry at some time in his future pulls a Ben Kenobi and actually becomes one with the Speed Force, and then travels back in time and actually becomes the bolt of lightning that struck him. So I do fundamentally think it chose him. Also, Oliver was speaking metaphorically. Yeah.
Cool.
Cool.
Not cool.
Actually, it's really fucking cool. Watch the rest of the 10 seconds that you decided to leave out. Where the Arrow/Proto-Green Arrow Spider-Man's away from the Flash running down the street, being viewed from said Spider-Man view. If that doesn't bring you joy, then I don't know what will. You're just dead inside. Or you just don't think it's that cool. That can be subjective.
Something I've been playing with. Designed to replace the turnouts firefighters traditionally wear.
Good thing Cisco was working on something for firefighters and not, say, doctors or the police.
How is this even a sin? There's a good chance that at this point he may have been. And yes, I totally believe that there's definitely a possibility that Cisco was working on something for the fire department. Personally, I believe that he was working on all kinds of things for first responders to, kind of make up for Star Labs' missteps in the past.
I'm not saying Martin is alive, but if he was, this is the last place him and his brother hit up.
And I'm saying it at full volume because the element of surprise is overrated.
He doesn't actually believe that Martin is here. He just came to see if his last known could have led him to his present whereabouts, so he doesn't feel the need to whisper.
So, is good timing also one of Barry's superpowers?
I mean, he has super speed, and it would have taken him a while to find Martin at this point, since, he's not working with Joe, so... Yes?
What if I unravel it?
Sure, but couldn't you also just run the in there, tackle Weather Underground, and zoom him right over to the police station? Or hell, the middle of Kansas?
Understandable, but I'm pretty sure that at this point Barry knows he's not fast enough to just power straight through the force of a tornado without unraveling it, or being sent flying in the direction that it's moving.
When I looked at you, all I saw was another potential victim of my hubris.
You mean like how lots of people might die because you felt like now was a good time to monologue, instead of just giving him the instruction he needs to make this work? Those kind of victims of your hubris?
Martin is walking to the city with a tornado around him, so they at least have a little bit of time to talk.
I didn't think there was anyone else like me.
If you're the Flash, why would you ever wait to do anything? As soon as he points that gun, wouldn't you just go take it from him immediately?
He's probably a bit tired, since at this point they don't know that he needs to eat like 5 times his body weight per day.
You believing me is all I need.
Well, I had a pack of cigarettes to keep Topeka Bob from visiting my cell later on tonight. You got a pack of cigarettes?
I couldn't find if he's referencing anything because I don't have the time to, but regardless, it's a lazy joke, so here's 3 sins.
Why is it shaped like a lightning bolt?
So it's not boring.
Oh, and also, and I'm just spitballing here, because he got his powers by being struck by lightning, Squarey alone puts Caitlin straight into the lead of the dumb questions game.
Yes, why is it a lightning bolt? Isn't that a little obvious? Yeah, but at least it's not boring. Honestly, I'm not sure what deserves the sin here. TVSins or the show? Let's just say both.
My name is Barry Allen.
Skip! You're right. Character intros are totally unnecessary. You're right. Character intros are totally unnecessary. You're right. Character intros are totally unnecessary. Closing thoughts. While writing and going back over this for this video, May 2023, let's see if it actually comes out this month, I realized just how infuriating CinemaSins is, from nonsense criticisms to jokes that are hardly even jokes. And just like the JXE and Bob Vids videos point out in excruciating detail, they put what they consider to be real critiques next to jokey jokes. Now, that's not to be said that they don't sometimes have real criticisms that are 100% fair and accurate, but that only bolsters the point that they, especially if they see themselves as a parody channel, should not be putting real criticism next to jokes. I take my work incredibly seriously, and even if the quality of these videos is subpar, I put actual effort into these, which is something that I really can't say I believe in the case of Jeremy, Chris, all their writers, editors, anything like that. I really don't believe it.
And now for something completely different.
So while editing this, I actually had a really weird issue where in Premiere, the playhead wasn't moving, like the little timeline thing wasn't moving unless the video was playing, and so it made it really hard to edit. But apparently a lot of people have been having this issue, so I just want to give a shout out to this video from Mike's Unboxing Reviews and How To, where...
Hi, this is Mike from Mike's Unboxing Reviews and How To, and today I'm going to show you how to fix dodgy goings on, including a frozen time head in Adobe Premiere Pro.
Yeah, so where it just wasn't working until, lo and behold, it's working now. So I just want to give a quick shout out to him and just say thank you for... I left a comment on his video saying, perfect, for me it was that my playhead wouldn't move unless the video was playing. It made it really hard to edit, but this fixed it lickety-split. Thank you, sir! Because I need this video out by the end of May. It is currently May 18th, as... Oh, you can't see it because my little name is there. This is my streaming layout. I don't have one for just recording, except this one. But I just want to give a shout out to that video. That video really helped. It was a very simple fix. Like you could see on the time code, it was 3 minutes. That's all it took. And yet I have been sitting here for the last 2 days going, man, I can't edit because of this fucking issue. Just hoping it would go away. But people like him and there's a lot of videos out there that they are designed to help you solve something very quickly, but they stretch it out to that 7.5 minutes so that they can get more ad revenue. But he's like, nah, 3 minutes, that's all it takes to say what the problem is. If this sounds like your issue, this video's for you, and then the solution. So it helped really quickly, and yeah, I just want to give a shout out to that. Anyway, back to my actual outro.